Hello friends, my name is Susan. Welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to be creating on these grungy old boards that we had left over from some old palettes. They apparently have been painted and weathered and they're just beautiful. Look at all the colors in there. So I'm going to be adding a transfer. These are stencil transfers from Cutouts, and this one is called Mason Jar Sunflower. So we are going to add a cutout to the front of this board and make a really cute, kind of a vintagey looking sign. So stay tuned.
Starting with a damp paintbrush and Storm chalk paste, we're going to paint the base of our piece that's going to be the top layer. When your chalk paste is thoroughly dry, you're going to go in with a light coat of surface wax. You don't want this too heavy, but a nice light thin coat. Don't be too fussy, just brush it on very, very lightly, and that will help keep the transfer from pulling up the paint or paste that we just applied. It's time to apply the flower part of our transfer to the cutout. We're going to start with the flowers and the stems and do the mason jar later. Once you have it in the right place, smooth it down with your hand, and we're ready to chalk the first layer. This is going to be the outline. I'm going to be using Dune chalk paste to go over the flower part of this design. And what that'll do is give you an outline that we're going to paint sort of watercolor style to add lots and lots of beautiful rich color to our design. So you're just going to scoop out some of that paste with a small rubber squeegee and smooth it over the design. Be careful not to get the stems because we're going to do that in a different color in just a minute. Just make sure that you have all the open areas of the screen covered with chalk paste. You want to just brush it on nice and thick and then spread it out so that it's thinner. You want to have a nice thin layer of paste over your whole design. And you'll also notice that I'm scraping up the excess paste and either moving it to a different part of the design, or when I'm done, I will put the excess back into the jar to use on another project. Next, I'm going to come in with some ivy chalk paste to paste the stems of the flowers. While the paste is still wet, you're going to carefully peel the transfer back nice and gently, and that will expose the design that we're going to watercolor paint in just a moment. Next, I'm going to thin out some Sunnyside chalk paste to paint the petals of the flowers. You don't have to worry about being too fussy with this. You can cross the lines, it doesn't matter. We're going to go over it and add details later. Just take your time and enjoy the process. Next, I'm going to come in with some marigold and highlight the centers of each of the different petals. Don't have to be too fussy about this because nothing is perfect in nature, right? Next, I'm going to add just a little more depth with papaya chalk paste, and I'm going to do the same things that I did with the marigold and just kind of accent the centers of the flowers with a little bit of line work there. Just adds a little bit more depth to your piece. To the centers of each of the flowers, I'm using a color called Camel. Again, just go in with a damp paintbrush, or add a couple drops of water to your color tray with some paste in it. And you want to have it to the consistency of a little bit thinner than acrylic paints, and it will really paint nicely for you. It's time to add some more details to our piece, and we're going to be using ivy chalk paste to paint both the leaves, underneath the sunflowers, and up above there's some little like ivies, and you're going to paint the leaves of those and some of the stems also in the ivy chalk paste. After I finished that, I went in with a tiny bit of cherry chalk paste and added that to the berries that are with the vine area. This is going to be so pretty. Next, we're going to dry it thoroughly, and it's time to get our wax out again. We're going to put another light coat of wax on top of the design that we've already made, because we're going to lay the transfer back on top and add all of the details back to it. Lay your transfer back on top of your design and try to line it up exactly where it was before. Smooth it down with an even touch, not too firm, just gentle pressure on that. We're going to go in with our espresso chalk paste, and we're going to go over all of the areas where the flowers and the leaves are. We're not going to do the stem or the jar yet. After you've completely covered your design, you're going to gently peel back your transfer. Let it dry thoroughly again and lay the jar portion of your transfer back on top of your cutout. We're going to be pasting this with Storm chalk paste. It's time to put everything together. Grab your surface, and you can use any surface you want, and we're going to attach our cutout to the surface. I'm using a very nice glue called Stick Fast. It is almost like a super glue. When you put your glue on and you put it all together, I would suggest putting something heavy on top of it to hold everything tight so that nothing pops up. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you have any questions, be sure to put them in the comments. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and I have a YouTube channel. Be sure to like and follow me in all of those places. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this project. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Have a great day.